traffic ain't a waste of time. When you were there to hold my hand, but I've had it with the 405 since you said I'd missed my last chance. But I know that you've been asking about.
Spend the weekend working on draft 3 with me. Hi, hello, welcome. If you're new here, my name's Araya Rasmussen, and I'm currently revising my hunting memoir, temporarily titled Adventures of an Outfitter's Daughter, which I do plan on traditionally publishing, so that is why the title might change. The book is about my journey to trying to get my dream black bear alongside my dad, a big game outfitter based out of Idaho, and the highs and lows we experience along the way. In general, it's a journey of self-discovery, identity, relationships, all wrapped up into 20 action-packed hunts. That is currently how many chapters my book is 20 chapters, and each chapter is a new hunting story, except for one which has 3, I believe, wrapped up into it. But I actually drafted that a couple weeks ago, so that was fun. But now I am officially into draft 3, and I got through 2.5 chapters last weekend doing a 12-hour write-a-thon with my mom. She was actually crocheting as I was writing, but I got 2.5 chapters done, and then actually on Tuesday I finished chapter 3, and so now today I'm starting on chapter 4, and the goal is to get chapter 4 and 5 done for the weekend. Draft 3's deadline for me, my soft deadline, is September 8th, and my hard one will probably just be the end of September. So to do that, I need to be getting 2 chapters done a week, and since I work 4/10s during the week, it's mostly all that going to be happening during the weekend, because I work from 7 to 5:30, and then usually I'm also working on editing these vlogs, working on blog posts, and just trying to relax after work. So I haven't been doing too much writing during the week. So once I started that new schedule, I haven't been writing as much during the week, but I also took a break from March to now, from draft 2 to 3, and that's when I started my new schedule. It was in there, so we'll see just how well this is gonna work out. Like this week I did actually work on chapter 3 and finished it Tuesday, but I'm not writing every single day. I've been actually working on editing vlogs in the morning before work, and then either working on that in the evening, reading, or writing if I can. Yeah, that's kind of currently what is going on. But this weekend my plan is to get chapter 4 and 5 done. I'm going to jump right into chapter 4 here in a minute, but I wanted to let you know what's going on, intro who I am if you are new here. The other update I did want to mention is that I have decided, kind of like a mid-year check-in for you guys, is that I do plan on trying to query by the end of the year. That is what I kind of decided at the beginning of the year that I wanted to do, but once I finished draft 2 and got feedback on my story, and knowing that there were so many things I needed to fix, I was kind of feeling like I wouldn't have the opportunity to query until next year. But as I'm already jumping into this and fixing things up, I think I could get to a point where I could query by the end of the year. My plan is to finish draft 3 in September, and then I'm going to give it to at least a beta reader, if not a couple, and get some final feedback on all the developmental stuff and see if the storyline fits good and all that jazz. If I only get some minor feedback, I think I'm just going to fix that up, and then I think I'm going to do a line edit pass, get some additional feedback, make sure everything's good, and then work on my query package and actually start querying. So that is the yearly goal. So I wanted to give a little update about that because I don't think I've talked about that much on my channel yet. I think I've mentioned it in some comments of other people's like questions about like what is your yearly goal. Figured I'd give you guys a direct answer of what my goal is currently. That is that. It is already like 2 o'clock, so I only have the rest of today and then probably only until like mid-afternoon tomorrow to work on this, because we have other things going on tomorrow, and I was working on posting a video today and working on a blog post, so I haven't been writing yet. And yesterday was the 4th of July, so I didn't write yesterday either. But we're gonna just jump right into chapter 4, and then I will give you guys an update in a few hours. I'll probably be walking on my walking pad at some point today, hopefully maybe more than once, get my extra steps in since I haven't really done anything today. I did go paddleboarding and floating yesterday on the river and played cornhole, so I got some exercise in, but I do need to be good today and actually get some steps in. So you might see some clips of me walking on my walking pad, hopefully finishing chapter 4 today, and then maybe finish chapter 5 tomorrow. I'm going to just jump in because it has already been too long of me chatting. So let's jump into chapter 4, and I'll see you guys in a few.
If I tried though to get you back, would you let me? It might take some time to change
halfway there. It might take too long. I'm halfway there.
me back in your eyes, blinking at me like a
you'll never guess what time it is. It's 8 o'clock. Yeah, it took me all freaking day to finish one chapter, but I did it. I finished chapter 4 finally. I even had my dance party, read a chapter of my book comp, walked on my walking pad for 30 minutes while working on my book, and yet I was struggling to get through the chapter. I fell asleep a couple times in my chair, just was very distracted. I think it's just from being so busy yesterday with all the 4th of July stuff, drinking, not sleeping in very long, just exhausted today. So maybe I should have tried to push more for all day tomorrow writing, but I've been trying to write more on Saturdays so that I can do shopping and other stuff on Sunday, and that kind of sucks. But I'm hoping to lock in for some night sprints. Join Charlie's live stream, and I actually need to make dinner now. I'm missing the first one, and so I'm hoping with the second sprint that I can actually get some body double writing in and go from there. Did just check off chapter 4 on my revision checklist. I just need to move the post-it of chapter 4 from to do to completed on my board above my desk, and then cook dinner and then start chapter 5. I did also just realize that I will already be jumping into chapter 6, which I just drafted a couple weeks ago. It probably needs to go through a full revision because that is like draft 1 status, while the rest is already on draft 2 and 3 now. I am assuming that's going to take most of the next weekend to fix, so that's fun. But I don't have really anything going on besides maybe going to some boat races on Saturday or a birthday thing. We're trying to decide for that still. Just making me realize that I need to make sure to get these 2 chapters done this weekend so that I don't fall behind this weekend and then fall behind again next weekend, because if it does take me all weekend to get just chapter 6 done, that would put me behind quite a bit. I'm trying to lock in and stay on top of this today, even though it was taking me all day to get through one chapter. I'm hoping now that I'm more awake, I'm gonna eat dinner, move around a little bit more, joining this live stream. Hopefully I can just lock in and get through most of chapter 5 tonight and then finish it up in the morning. I need to make dinner. I'm gonna go do that, and then I will update you guys later.
If I tried though to take it all back, would you let me on?
Alright guys, it is now officially Sunday. I did not, in fact, come back to write last night. I was pretty tired. It took me like an hour basically to make dinner. Then we just sat down and watched some TV, and then I did a little bit of reading, and then we went to bed. So no more progress was made last night, but it is only like 9:15 now, so I have plenty of time this morning and this afternoon to get some writing done before I should probably go shopping, and then we go out to dinner. And it's not like I can't skip shopping today and go tomorrow, but I should, because I do need a few things. But I have to work on chapter 5 today now, and if I don't get it done today, I could also work on it during the week like I did last week with chapter 3. It's just too hard right now with my 410s to make myself write every day without completely burning myself out. I've been trying to just like do some video editing before work, and then when I get off, if I'm okay up to it, then I can either video edit, I could write, or I could read, and just kind of switch it up a little so that I don't burn myself out on one thing. That means I don't have to kill myself today trying to get chapter 5 done, but I'd like to get it done so I don't have to worry about it for the week, because like I said yesterday, I have chapter 6 to work on next weekend, and I'm kind of scared it's going to take most of the weekend to fix up. We're going to just jump into chapter 5 anyways and fix it up as much as I can for revisions. I don't think I have too much noted on my revision checklist for it. It's mostly just making sure that the subplot of the first few of my bears were all sows, so females, and like that was part of me like, no, I want a big boar, and like I want to beat my dad's monster bear, so I have to make sure it's actually mentioned that one is a female like my first one was. And then there's a couple dogs I have to make sure introed in this, that you know who they are, what they look like and stuff. And then just my usual making sure all the inner monologue gets fixed up, highlight sections that I made with my read through before, that all of it doesn't sound too choppy or just needs to be showed instead of told. And then dialogue, I'm making sure sentences don't start with and if they do, make sure that is the proper way that sentence is being told, or if it can be fixed. And then I usually reread the chapter a couple times afterwards. I usually read through it probably 3-4 times when I'm doing a full new draft. Like with draft 2, I was doing like a read through, finding all the things that I needed to fix, and then I was doing like a full good revision, and then then I'd read through it again and usually find stuff that needed to be fixed along the way, and then read it again, try to read it quickly and catch all the other little stuff that I might have missed in the other few passes. So that's about what I'm doing now, doing a full revise of the chapter, reading through it again, checking things, usually still finding a couple things, and then I've been reading it aloud to myself on the third pass, and there's still a couple little things. I think for the read through, you hear it a little bit more, especially those repetitive words that you might not have noticed before, like saying bear 5 times in 2 paragraphs. So I think it's been good for me to read those aloud as well. But I'm just gonna jump right into revising chapter 5, eat some oatmeal that I warmed up, and just kind of hang out at my desk for a few hours and hopefully actually get some work done without taking the whole day to do so like I did yesterday. So yeah, that's the plan for the day. I'll probably update you guys either hopefully when I finish the chapter and make some good progress, if there's anything that I see that might want to talk about, but I'm just trying to keep my vlogs on the shorter side because there for a little bit in draft 2 I kept going over 30 minutes. It takes a while to edit those, might as well for people to want to watch them, especially when you're a new Authortuber. Longer videos are kind of harder to get into when people don't know who you are, so I'm trying to be better about keeping it on the shorter end, but here I am blabbing on. I'm going to sign out for the moment and then I will check in with you guys in probably a couple hours. As you have probably seen in the previous clips, I finally finished chapter 5, so yay. And I really wanted to actually start chapter 6 because it's only not even 1 o'clock yet, and I was like, no, I have to chill or I will burn myself out, first of all. Second of all, I have other things I need to do today besides work on my book. I'm gonna take a step back and not jump into chapter 6. But chapter 5 is done. It really didn't have that much that needed to be fixed. The intro was still pretty good, just fixed kind of prose level stuff. And then I did add a couple extra sentences at the end, streaming in an extra subplot, and then I fixed the conclusion. Well, basically I actually rewrote the conclusion to fix the plot line of the book in itself. So there was that. Chapter 5 isn't too bad. It wasn't super long, so it felt pretty good to revise through it pretty quickly today. I did 3 passes like I said, did a full revise, read through and fixed things again. Prose level, dialogue, inner monologue, all that stuff, and then I read it aloud on the 3rd pass and audibly listened to the things that needed to be cut or fixed up. So that means chapter 5 is actually done. I checked it off of my board, as you have probably seen before this. So I think I'm going to take a break and either work on a blog post, go grocery shopping, or whatever else I need to do for the day, and then I might start chapter 6 later this week, maybe if I have the mental capacity to do so without burning myself out, so that I don't have to spend the whole next weekend working on it. That's kind of like a maybe plan. I could also just start the next vlog with, let's start editing chapter 6 with me. That is where I'm at the moment. I do plan on trying to do something fun next weekend, like maybe doing a writing in weird places outdoor edition, and maybe go to the park, the river, the lake, maybe just outside in the yard of my apartment complex and work on my book, just to get out and about. It was nice kind of last weekend to work on my book on the couch with my mom as she was crocheting. That was fun, doing a 12-hour write-a-thon with her and just like not being confined to the office and doing something fun as I'm writing. I love doing that. I love doing write-a-thons. I like writing with other people, drinking and writing, just doing anything to make it fun, doing 10K weekend, that sort of thing. You'll probably see more of those sorts of videos in the future from me. So maybe doing a writing with weird places next weekend and then going from there. And I do have a live stream on the 20th with Leia and Tanya, and you should join that if you can. That'll be on Leia's channel. And besides that, I'm just gonna work through draft 3 as efficiently as as possible. I'm trying not to say as fast as possible because I'm trying not to rush this draft. I'm just trying to find a good balance within my life of working on this book and having fun and enjoying my summer and not burning myself out. Like yesterday, I totally just wanted to go and sit on the couch and not write anymore. Showed up for myself. I worked on my book. I might fell asleep in my chair a couple times, but I finished a chapter. Then I went and read and chilled out. I'm just trying to find that balance. Like I said, I might work on chapter 6 during the week, but probably won't actually start it till next weekend. I think just in general, draft 3 is feeling a lot better than draft 2, even though I'm fixing the plot. I know what it is. I know what the theme of my book is, and I'm fixing everything that I can along the way, while also still fixing prose level stuff and all of that jazz. It's kind of really nice to feel confident about draft 3 so that it can be query ready by the end of the year. I'm feeling pretty good about the book so far. The next chapter will probably kick my butt, but that's okay. There is always going to be those sort of chapters. And I think that's kind of everything for the moment. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave those below. And if you want to leave this emoji below to let me know that you did in fact make it to the end of this video, feel free to do so. And I just hope you have a lovely day, week, month, year, and I will see you guys hopefully next week. That is kind of the plan, is to try to do these weekly again, or at least every other week. Hopefully, probably. See you next week.